What's going on, folks? This is Matt here with GameSphere, where budget gaming does not mean low quality. So there's been a lot of videos recently about the Steam Deck, the iNeo 2, the GPD Win 4, and the whatever version of the 1X player is next. I love seeing these thumbnails like, this beats the Steam Deck, and I'm not opposed to something beating the deck. I'm really not. That means better tech. That means better overall everything. However, this is where all of these other products, the iNeo 2, the Win 4, the 1X player, they all fall short. And this is what people don't realize. So yeah, you can cram an 8-core, 16-thread, it's 6800U processor in a handheld. But with that, you're also going to drive up the cost. When I see a 399, 529, 649, I'm not a fan of Valve's ludicrous pricing for storage upgrades, because that to me, $120 for an upgrade is absurd for memory, when you can go and buy one off eBay for like $30 or $40. I went from this model to essentially this model without the etched glass for $35, I think it was. So a little absurd. This is what's appealing to a lot of people. Even this isn't that bad when you look at other similar systems that are of its category. The thing that makes the deck different is not just the cost, though. It is the software experience. Now, depending, and this is where the deck gets a little weird, you can view it as a PC or you can view it as a console. So I'm gonna let you guys argue that. For me, I view it as a console, so it's an appliance-like device. It's like the Atari VCS. It's an appliance that I can happen to tinker around and do a lot of things that it probably normally shouldn't or wasn't originally designed for. But its intent and purpose is an appliance. So I'm going to be basing it off that. And just in things like that, though, you also have, when we go to the iNeo, for a 6800U, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 512 NVMe, I'm assuming, is going to retail at $999. Right now, you can get it at $859. That is still almost $200 more expensive than the Steam Deck at the high-end Steam Deck. Let's look at the 1X player mini, which is similar. 16 gigabytes, 512. You can get in two different colors, and it's a 6800U with a 1920 by 1200 screen. Costs $999. Then you go over to GPD Win Max or Win 4 or whatever. So you can get a 6800U and 512 gigs for $798 currently, because of Indiegogo. However, retail price is going to be about $950, give or take. The Steam Deck has the backing of a major corporation and delivery mechanism that influences the gaming industry as a whole, making its own hardware at an affordable price that is, I want to make this clear, it's custom hardware too. So it's tailored to the device, so Valve can improve upon the experience, giving that console-like experience that a lot of these other devices just can't do. Now, I know Aya has said they're going to try to come out with their own OS. Same with GPD, though. We'll work with Valve. I'll believe when I see it, because GPD has been sketch on certain things they've done in the past. But Valve is going to be able to hone the software and optimize the software because of the fixed nature of the hardware, which has always been the perk of consoles. You can get the most out of them from a developer point of view or a consumer point of view, however you want to look at it. If you look at a game from the beginning of the PS3 to the end of the PS3, which I would say the last game generically was probably The Last of Us, like the original release of it. And if you go from looking at a first game like Untold Legends, I believe it was, night and day difference about what the consoles can do when given the right optimizations and use and targeting by a developer. What these are just constant iterations of cramming new hardware into it. I don't know if Valve's going to plan on yearly releases like Apple does with the iPhone and stuff, but I'm hoping not. because I'd say every 2 or 3 years is probably a good re-implementation of updating their hardware. But right now, just these prices alone, I can get 2.5 Steam Decks basically for the price of some of these. And that's just barring the memory. The upgrade is easy enough too. So these guys are always going to lose on price. And it doesn't have to be the best spec hardware, because if that was the case, the Switch wouldn't be as popular as it was. The Wii would not have been as popular as it was. You can't always just strictly look at spec. Even if you are a spec person, you have to look at the specs don't dictate the overall experience. And when I say experience, I'm talking from a user perspective. And Valve has these guys beat on the user experience, and Valve has these guys beat on the optimization experience that they're going to be able to give. And I'm not even getting into the price aspect that they obviously can give, because Valve's top end doesn't even touch these guys' lower end. Generically, what's going to happen with a lot of these devices? I hope these guys can get down to that price point, even if their lowest end meets Valve's highest end. I'd be more intrigued by these. But until then, the Steam Deck is going to win in the consumer mind every time. So other than that, let me know what you guys think. Are any of these of any interest to you? Or are you just, in the Steam Deck camp or the Switch camp, whatever? Let me know. Comment down below. Comment, rate, subscribe. And remember, budget gaming does not mean low quality.